This episode of Mr. Hutchings History is now streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and all your favorite platforms like Castbox, Podcast Addict, and Amazon Music. Tune in now.
Senators and representatives, I have the distinguished honor of presenting
Welcome, everybody. This is the Mr. Hutchings History Podcast. And on this episode, we're going to deal with how to choose high school classes for competitive university admissions, specifically in the United States and in Canada. But much of what we'll talk today is very applicable to universities worldwide, including the UK, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, Latin America, really just anywhere you want to go. This episode is geared towards high school students and their parents, and my objective today is providing guidance on selecting high school courses to enhance competitiveness for university administrations. So welcome. Now, why does course selection matter so much? Universities look for students who challenge themselves academically. The right course selection demonstrates readiness for college-level coursework. Selecting rigorous courses can boost chances for scholarships and competitive programs at the university level. Some university majors require very specific high school courses for admissions, such as engineering programs often require high-level math and physics. There are some common misconceptions about course selections which I'd like to address. A lot of students think a high GPA is all you need. But in reality, universities value rigor plus performance over just an easy A. Here's what I mean. The belief that a high GPA alone guarantees admission is incorrect. Universities are looking for students who take rigorous classes, which challenge them, and they want to see their performance in that class. This is far more preferable than a class which was just an easy A. An example would be physics. It is far better to, say, get 70% or 75% in a physics class if a student wants to demonstrate rigorous learning than getting a perfect score in an art class. Now listen, I value art classes and I value humanity classes, and they do have value. But when looking for rigorous programs, you're going to want rigorous classes in your core subjects. Core subjects being math, science, English, and humanities, also called social studies, and in the IB program, it's called individual societies. There's another myth that only STEM courses matter, and that's not true either. As I just said, humanities and social sciences are equally important, specifically for the fields of business, law, and fields of public policy programs. These humanities and social sciences often teach people how to work with evidence, to assess arguments which aren't their own, and to see many points of views. It is valued for critical thinking skills. Another myth is that the more AP or IB courses you have, that means a better chance of admission. Now, this can be false. It is much better to have quality over quantity. An overloaded student taking too many rigorous classes can backfire. If taking a full load of very heavy classes do lead to very low grades, it can demonstrate to the university that one, you're not learning very much in these rigorous classes, but also that you do not know yourself well enough to balance your own workload, which is going to be a problem in university. For those students who can handle a very rigorous schedule, that's great. But if it's not your interest, if you are taking courses just for the rigor that are outside your interest, that can actually hurt you. There is nothing wrong with taking just a few courses of AP, IB, or just a few A-level certificates if you have the option to take non-program, non-diploma type courses as well. You don't have to be a full AP student. You don't have to be a full IB student. It is okay to take just what you're interested in. And I have students that do that myself. I specifically teach history, and I teach it in the diploma programs. And for those who want that challenge, that class is open to them. Now, about half my class are full IB students, and the other half are students who are only taking just a few IB classes, and it fits their needs. And there's nothing wrong with that. You need to know yourself. Taking more courses of IB and AP, if you are not interested in them, don't do you well. And I'm going to reinforce this later, that what is required from a student to be successful in AP, IB, and A-level courses is the time you're willing to invest. And if you simply just don't have the time, nor the interest to put in the time, well, you just won't do well. All of these programs are designed for high school students, and they're designed for high school students to do well. You just simply need to put in the time. But if you're in a course which you're not interested in, or you don't see the value in, the truth is you just won't put in your time. So make sure to take classes which are meaningful to you. The last myth I'm going to address right now is that universities don't care about electives. Nothing could be further from the truth. Some electives, such as AP Computer Science and IB Business Management, actually can strengthen applications. Electives show balance and they show well-roundedness, and we'll discuss later in this podcast episode that universities take a holistic approach to students, reinforcing this statement now that GPA alone is not all that matters. So let's understand the high school programs available to students. Let's explore the different academic backgrounds from IB, A-levels, and AP. The International Baccalaureate Program, the IB, is a 2-year program for those who are wanting the full diploma. The diploma is globally recognized and emphasizes research, critical thinking, and a well-rounded education. The structure is that students need to take 6 subjects, 3 at a higher level and 3 at a standard level. Now, the standard level is just simply a high school level class. The additional requirements for an IB diploma, additional to your 6 subjects, include a course called the Theory of Knowledge, often abbreviated TOK. Students have to write an extended essay, an EE, as a final paper for their program, and students must complete their CAS, the creativity, activity, and service component. This altogether will make a DP diploma. And yes, these IB students are awarded a full IB diploma if all these requirements are met. The strength of the IB diploma is that it encourages interdisciplinary learning and global thinking. There's a strong emphasis on research, writing, and critical thinking, and it is indeed recognized by top universities worldwide. However, the IB program has limitations, as all these programs do. Limitations that students often cite with a full IB program is that it is a heavy workload with both internal assessments and external exams. Another limitation is that the IB program is not exactly ideal for students who want to specialize deeply in just a few subjects. Moving on to the British A-level, A-levels offer deep specialization, making them perfect for students with clear career goals. Now, at this moment, I just want to speak about the British A-levels, but then I want to address the variant, which is the International A-level, which is also popular for many students outside of the UK. The structure of the A-level is students will take 3 to 4 subjects in year 1. That's called the AS level. And they'll continue with 3 subjects in year 2, called the A2 level. The final grades are based on external exams at the end of the second year. There's no diploma awarded to A-level students, but they do receive A-level subject certificates for each course they pass. The strength of the A-level program is that it allows for deep specialization, making it ideal for students with clear career goals. It is also highly recognized by universities, especially in the UK, USA, and Canada. The limitation of the A level is that it has a lot less breadth compared to the IB. Students who specialize too early may find that their future options are limited. Now, the variant of the A level available to students outside of the UK is called the International A level, abbreviated to the IALs. This is also a 2-year program and it has modular exams. The structure is similar to the British A level but follows a modular exam system. Students take AS levels at the end of year 1 and A2 level exams at the end of year 2. Exams are offered multiple times per year, January, June, and October, depending on the exam board that the school is offering. Exam boards typically are Pearson and Excel. There's no diploma awarded as the A levels, but students do receive subject certificates upon completion. The strength of the IAL is that it has much more flexibility and students can retake modules to improve their grades. Okay, so the last program that I'll speak today, the last program that is on our topic this episode is the Advanced Placement, the AP system, often called the American system. Now, this system has 1-year classes per course. So, unlike the IB and A levels, AP allows students to customize their schedule by picking individual courses. The structure of the AP system is that students take individual AP courses, each lasting 1 academic year. Exams are scored on a 1 to 5 scale, with most universities requiring a 4 or 5 for credit. There is no diploma awarded, but students may earn an AP Scholar Award if they pass multiple AP exams. How is the AP Scholar Award earned? Well, so you've taken a bunch of AP exams, but did you know you can actually earn a Scholar Award? The AP Scholar Awards are given by the College Board to recognize outstanding performance on AP exams. AP Scholar Awards come in categories. There's the AP Scholar, where you score 3 or higher on at least 3 AP exams. There is the AP Scholar with Honor, where again you score 3 or higher on at least 4 AP exams with an average score of 3.25 or higher. Then there is the AP Scholar with Distinction, scoring 3 or higher on at least 5 AP exams with an average score of 3.5 and higher. And finally, there is the AP International Diploma, APID, APID. And this requires at least 5 AP exams across multiple subject areas. How do universities view the AP Scholar Awards? Well, while they do not directly affect admissions, but they do serve as an additional recognition of academic excellence. And they can help strengthen applications by showing consistency in academic performance. So I want to return to the GPA discussion. Often with AP classes, IB classes, particularly at the HL level, and A-level courses, schools will offer a GPA adjustment. And the GPA adjustment is what is called a weighted GPA. So what is a weighted GPA? An unweighted GPA is based on a 4.0 scale. Every class, 4.0. But a weighted GPA factors in course difficulty. Sometimes students refer to this as a grade boost, but it's not a grade boost. The grade for the class is always the grade. If it's an 80%, an 82%, an 83%, this grade is not adjusted. It's not affected. However, the value of the grade, its value to the GPA, becomes more. It increases because it was a course of more difficulty, whether it was AP, IB, or A level. And this increased weight is what we're going to call the weighted GPA. So an unweighted GPA is a standard 4.0 scale, with an A being a 4.0, a B being a 3.0, C being 2.0, and etc. However, when GPAs are weighted, then there are courses which are adjusted for difficulty, typically your IB, AP, and A levels. An A in an AP course may be weighted as 5.0 instead of 4.0. I don't want this podcast episode to be too distracted with GPA discussions. I think I can make that an own episode later, but I do want to suggest that for many schools, they offer more value, more GPA value for students who enroll in rigorous courses offered through IB, AP, and A levels, with some schools and IB schools offering a significantly more weight for the HL option. Okay, so how to build a competitive high school schedule. This is the heart, I hope, of the episode that I wanted to bring to everybody. So now let's talk about the best course combinations for different career paths. Crafting the right school schedule is one of the most important decisions students can make when preparing for university admissions. A strong schedule balances rigor, interests, and academic strengths, while avoiding common pitfalls that weaken college applications. This next section of my episode, I'll cover the best course mix for different career paths, customizing IB, A-level, and AP courses for your intended major, and common scheduling mistakes to avoid, decisions that can hurt competitiveness. The best course mix for different career paths. Universities evaluate applicants based on the rigor of their coursework relative to their intended major. The following combinations are highly recommended for students pursuing competitive degrees in medicine, engineering, business or economics, and law. So for those who are considering a future in medicine or biomedical science, if you're aiming for med school, make sure to take HL Biology, HL Chemistry, and AP Calculus BC. The key skills that schools are looking for in the future medical and biomedical science applicant is a strong foundation in biology, chemistry, and mathematics, along with analytical thinking and problem solving. So here are some recommended courses. If you're at a school which offers the IB program, you are looking for HL Biology, HL Chemistry, HL Mathematics AA. If you're at a school which offers the A-level program, Biology, Chemistry, Mathematics. If you're at a school which offers the AP system, AP Biology, AP Chemistry, AP Calculus BC. Now, there are some additional courses which could benefit this student looking for a medical route. Take psychology, either in AP or IBHL. Psychology is useful for understanding human behavior, especially for psychiatry or neuroscience. For those interested in a specialty of sports, IB Sports, Exercise, Health Science HL. These are optional but can complement pre-med interests. If you're in AP school, AP Research. This can strengthen applicants by demonstrating scientific research skills. So an example course load for an IB pre-med student would be HL Biology, HL Chemistry, HL Mathematics AA, SL Psychology, SL English, and SL Language B, as many medical schools often prefer multilingual applicants. So common mistakes to avoid. Whatever you do, do not skip math in your senior year. Skipping math in your senior year is the biggest mistake for a student on this route. Many universities require a strong math foundation for medical school prerequisites. Okay, moving on to our future engineers. And engineering, I'm thinking of mechanical, electrical, civil, aerospace, and software. All right, future engineers are going to need AP Physics C, AP Calculus BC, and if available, A level further math. More on this. So, the key skills that these universities will look for in the future engineer, you will need strong mathematics, physics, and problem solving abilities. Computer science is also recommended for modern engineering fields. So, here are my recommended courses. If you're at an IB school, HL Mathematics AA, HL Physics, HL Chemistry. If you're at an A level school, mathematics, further mathematics if it is available to you, and physics. At an AP school, AP Calculus BC, AP Physics C with mechanics and E&M, AP Computer Science A. There's additional courses which could also be beneficial for you. If available, take AP Statistics. This is useful for the engineering fields involving data analysis. You can take IB Computer Science HL, ideal for software and electrical engineering. And for A level, take the further mathematics. This is highly recommended if you're looking to go to Oxbridge, MIT, and Caltech. So, an example course load for an AP student who is future engineering student, AP Calculus BC, which is essential for engineering. AP Physics C, Mechanical and E&M, highly recommended. AP Computer Science A for software engineering. AP Chemistry, optional but useful for chemical materials engineering. And of course, AP English Language for communication skills and technical writing. The common mistake to avoid: taking AP Calculus AB instead of BC. Top engineering programs prefer students to take the most advanced math available. So, if available to you, AP Calculus BC. For the business and economics students, the key skills that universities will look for: strong mathematical, analytical, and decision-making abilities. The recommended courses: at an IB school, you need HL Mathematics AA, HL Economics, HL Business Management. At an A-level school, Mathematics, Economics, Business Studies. At an AP school, AP Macroeconomics, AP Microeconomics, AP Calculus AB or BC. Now, there's some additional beneficial courses for the future business and economics student. AP Statistics, valued for finance, investment banking, and business analytics. IB Psychology HL, helps with understanding consumer behavior. IB Computer Science HL, useful for fintech and data analysis careers. So, an example course load for an IB business student: HL Mathematics AA for strong analytical thinking, HL Economics, essential for finance, business, and consulting, HL Business Management, optional but useful for entrepreneurship, SL Psychology for understanding consumer behavior, SL English Literature, good for critical thinking and communication. A common mistake to avoid: skipping advanced math classes. Don't do that. Many top schools, such as Wharton, LSE, MIT, Sloan, expect strong quantitative skills. Do not skip the advanced math classes. Okay, moving to our students who are interested in law, political science, and international relations. This will be my last group. The key skills that universities are looking for here: critical reading, writing, argumentation, and analytical reasoning. So, my recommended courses, if you are an IB student: English Literature, HL History, and HL Economics. The alternative courses, if you're not so interested in economics, I recommend economics. It tends to be quite popular in schools. HL Economics develops strong analytical and critical thinking skills, especially useful for corporate law, international trade law, or tax law. If that is not of your interest, how about HL Philosophy? It strengthens argumentation, logic, and ethical reasoning, which are crucial for legal debates and case analysis. Another good alternative, HL Psychology, useful for students interested in criminal law, forensic law, or human rights law. And probably the last alternative to the HL Economics, HL Business Management, which is beneficial for students interested in corporate law, business regulations, or entrepreneurship law. However, whichever you take, economics, philosophy, psychology, or business management, do make sure you have English literature, HL, and do make sure you have HL history. So if you are an IB student, combinations to take. The why English literature, it strengthens your reading, writing, and argumentation skills. Why HL history, it develops critical thinking and understanding of legal precedents and historical context of laws. And if you do have economics, philosophy, or psychology, all three of those, economics, philosophy, or psychology, are all good to build analytical and debate skills. So whichever of that options you like. For if you're an A-level student in the British system, I strongly recommend English literature, history, politics. And for those in the AP program, if you are also a future lawyer, political scientist, or someone involved in international relationships, you are going to look for AP English literature, AP US government and politics, and AP history. AP European history would probably be my AP history. And the AP could be European history, it could be modern world, or it could be US history, but you definitely want an AP history. So, some beneficial courses you can take. Well, I think I mentioned philosophy for the IBHL, but if it's available to the AP student, take philosophy. Because again, it's excellent for building logical reasoning skills. If you're an IB or an AP student, take economics. And if you're an IB student, take it at the HL. If you're an AP student, just take it. It is useful for corporate law and policy making careers. And as I mentioned, psychology for the IB students, if it's available, take it at the HL level because of its benefit for understanding criminal law and forensic psychology. So, an example course load if you're an A level future law student, A level English literature, essential for writing strong argumentations. A level history, build historical context and critical thinking. A level politics, great for future law careers. And A level economics, useful for business and corporate law. A common mistake to avoid. The mistake is not taking English literature at the HL or A level. If you are a future lawyer, law schools want strong reading and analytical skills. Take English. And whether you're an AP, HL, IBHL, take it at the IBHL level, take it at the A level, take AP, take English. And I think another common mistake is avoiding history. And people avoid history and English at the same time at rigorous levels because students often complain it's a lot of reading and writing. Yes, it is. And it is a lot of reading and writing. But when you're going into law, political science, or international relations, it is a lot of reading and writing. So get used to it. And when you're in university, strong English and strong history classes are going to be valued as well before you get into law school because law school is simply going to be a lot of reading and writing, a lot of critical analysis, a lot of argumentation, and the two disciplines that will certainly support you the best in your future legal career, whichever route you go, or your future political career, is going to be history and English. So don't shy away from them. Don't think it's too much. It's not. Wait until you get to law school. It's going to be a lot of work. So be prepared. All right, generally, I'm going to move to some common scheduling mistakes to avoid for everybody. Even with a strong course selection, some mistakes can weaken a student's college application profile. Here are the most common pitfalls to watch out for. Skipping math in senior year. Don't do that. Take math in senior year. Many students think they no longer need math if they are applying for non-STEM majors. That's wrong. Take math. The problem is colleges still expect math for business, economics, and even many social sciences. At the college level, in social sciences, even in history, had to do it myself. You have to research, and I had to learn statistical research, and it takes some math. You have to do it. So the solution, if you're in high school and you're picking your classes, take at least, at the bare minimum, take SL Mathematics if you're an IB student. Take A-level math or take AP Statistics. Take math your senior year. Another common mistake is taking too many easy electives. And we all know what they are. And listen, you want a well-rounded education, so yes, take electives, but also take rigor. That is part of the well-roundedness. So the problem with too many electives, too many easy electives, that colleges look for rigor, and too many non-academic electives can hurt an application. This is usually a strategy of taking too many electives of students who want a high GPA but don't want to put in the effort. And college admissions can see right through it. It's their job to see right through it. So if someone who has crafted a very good view of themselves with a high GPA, once they scratch and look at your transcripts and see that it was really easy for you to do, does it look like that you could be successful in university? And the answer obviously is going to be no. That's not to say that, you can certainly get into some university. Someone will take you. But will you get into a competitive university? Will you get into a competitive program? You're just simply hurting your chances. Or maybe you're realizing that, university is not for you. You have to be a little reflective and you have to be a little honest. If you're not willing to put in the work in academics, well, that's fine. You can have a wonderful life. Just go do something else. College isn't for you. And I know that can be shocking when sometimes families and students just hear it, but life is big and not everybody needs to be an engineer or doctor. I am not an engineer. I'm not a doctor. Um, there's all sorts of ways to be successful in life and all sorts of ways to be happy. And, I think that's kind of a discussion that people have to have with their internal selves and with their families. But if someone's not putting in the effort in high school, there's no reason to think that they're going to put it into university. If they're more interested in playing soccer or, something else, maybe they should pursue that. And there's nothing wrong with being successful in that. Just something you can think about. I'll leave that to you. Feel free to leave comments and opinions in my comments section. I will read them on this and I'll respond the best I can. But don't take too many electives. And examples of low rigor courses: general physical education, PE, home economics, film studies. Well, film studies can be rigorous if you are pursuing filmmaking as a university career, university option. But if you don't see yourself as a future director of movies, if you're not the next, I can't think of a movie director right now, but if you're not going to be a future movie director, then likely film studies is not adding any real value to your academic background. So the solution is choose electives that add economic value. And examples are AP Computer Science, IB Business Management. If you need to have very specific discussions on what is rigor and what is low rigor at your university, at the university level, please contact your high school counselor. They're always happy to talk to you with that and listen to their feedback. Okay, another mistake is overloading with IB and AP classes without taking balance. So a problem is that taking too many advanced courses can lead to burnout. and that will lead to poor academic performance. So the solution is balance. Balance difficult courses with one or two lighter electives to maintain well-being. Can you, and this goes, and going back to the low rigor courses, can you take general physical education? Can you take home economics? And can you take film studies if you don't plan on pursuing filmmaking? Yes, of course. Broaden your mind. Realize the great diversity of topics in the academic world and mix them in. Your schedule doesn't have to be filled with courses such as economics and calculus and physics. Work in some classes that are enjoyable, and make your educational path enjoying. You want to have balance once again. You don't want your whole schedule filled with home economics, but at the same time, you don't want your whole schedule filled with economics. You take home economics and economics are two totally different courses. It's about creating balance and knowing oneself. So do not overload yourself, and don't think that taking a bunch of hard courses and doing mediocre in them is going to impress any university. You just look like someone who's going to martyr yourself and hurt yourself in the university program, and that's going to be hard to help. Be balanced. Take classes with both low rigor and high rigor. And the final mistake, the scheduling mistake that you should avoid, is not aligning your courses with your future goals. Be thoughtful. You definitely want your core classes, your rigorous classes, to align with your future goals. So the problem is that some students take very random classes, both at the AP, IB, and A level, without thinking about university prerequisites. So there's a solution. You need to start researching your universities now. Research university requirements before choosing courses. So if you're a student in the American school system, you should become familiar with general university requirements for fields that you're interested by grade 9 and grade 10. So when you are picking your courses, you are picking it as an informed consumer of education, that your time in high school will not be wasted. You do need to pay attention to your future self. Listen to your counselors in 9 and 10 and try to get ideas from trusted teachers, because these are people very familiar with the college university program as it is right now. Often I think parents give very good advice and loving advice, but many parents, they went to university 20 or 30 years ago when they're speaking to their high school student. And, parents, some of their information could be dated and no longer relevant. So stick with people who it is their profession to get you in university. Talk to your high school counselors, talk to your teachers. And it's not too early to be thinking about your college programs. When you're 9 and 10, you should be thinking about what universities are looking for the type of programs you're interested in. So when you do select your courses at the AP level, IB level, or A level, that you take courses intelligently. It has not been uncommon in my own experience to see students who have been very dedicated and have been accepted into very competitive programs, both in North America and the UK, that their families had them thinking about university requirements and the programs they were interested in middle school. So if you're an American student, that'd be seventh or eighth grade, where they were thinking about the type of programs they'd be interested in and the type of classes their school was offering and what would be a good match. And they were doing it at that age, at the age of 13. So when they got into high school, they were focused and productive in the classes they needed to be. And they also, in a well-rounded class, took those courses which are at relatively low rigor, which allowed them to, be a student. Take art. I'm a big fan of art. And, often, those exams are not papers. You have an art portfolio. That's helpful. I was a history student and took a lot of English and philosophy classes. There was a lot of reading and writing. I didn't take much math. I took math all the way to my senior year, but I did not see myself as a future engineer. I think I made it up to statistics, but then I also took drama and art, and had a well balanced program and got myself to university with a scholarship too. Okay, so some takeaways for course selection success. Match your courses to your career goals. Make sure they're rigorous, make sure they're relevant subjects. Avoid gaps in your core subjects, especially math and science. Take these classes, math and science, and your core subjects all 4 years. And even if you hear from your friends that, for example, high school requires 2 years of math for you to graduate, as a minimum, don't do the minimum. If you're looking to be competitive, you keep taking those classes. Because if your goal is just to graduate high school, well, doing the minimum makes sense. But if your plan is to go to university and be competitive to go to university, then you must go past the minimum. You must be competitive. Take your core subjects, especially math and science, all 4 years. Another takeaway, take the most challenging courses you can handle without burnout. Know yourself. Speak to your teachers. What can you handle? Get feedback. And then finally, think long term. Colleges care about rigor, consistency, and academic focus. By strategically selecting rigorous, relevant, and balanced courses, students can maximize their college admissions success while preparing for their future careers. Now, I really am thankful that you made it to the end. Please like, subscribe, leave me a note, leave me a comment. And if you thought this episode was helpful to you, please share it with all your friends, your classmates, share it with your teachers, and share it with your parents. I'm Mr. Hutchings, and I want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope this very special podcast episode was valuable to you. And please join me next time.
Like, comment, and subscribe.